Do you want to switch into cloud security and don't know where to start? Hello, I am Anjali, founder of Container Security Village and lead of OWASP EKS Gold project. With my great experience in cloud security, DevSecOps, Kubernetes security, I am bringing roadmap for cloud security engineer. So let's get started. A lot of you ask me one thing: how do I switch into cloud security, and what does a cloud security engineer actually do? Quick answer: we protect our data, applications, and underlying infrastructure on AWS, Azure, and GCP. We also design controls, implement them, and make sure that they are working. This field is crucial as companies are now migrating to cloud native or hybrid architectures. To make a career in cloud security, you need strong understanding of security fundamentals and cloud platform experience. So operating system and networking are important for almost all domains. In cloud as well, we have virtual machines, that is Linux and Windows machines that we use. Hence, familiarity with command line is helpful in troubleshooting, automating tasks, etc. Also, firewall rules, network segregation, traffic monitoring is a base layer of security. So, understanding of operating system and networking is really important. You can level up with containers and scripting. Good to learn Docker containers, Kubernetes, and scripting any Python, Bash, Go for modern cloud infrastructure. And also with automating tasks with the Bash, Python, and Go enhances productivity as well. So, where to start, and should we start with all three or should we pick only one? The answer is pick only one. Any cloud, whether it is AWS, Azure, or GCP, pick any one cloud and master that cloud and then move to other cloud. You can start with the basic services like S3, storage account, virtual machines, notification, alerting, IAM, which is identity and access management. You can start with these standard services, develop a good understanding, and then move to other cloud. So, if we do a deep dive in defense and we are implementing or making defense strategies in our environment, then we have to add multiple layers, and good technical in-depth understanding will be really helpful, so that in case your first layer fails over a threat, there should be an additional layer to prevent our infrastructure from that particular threat. We have network layer that involves virtual private cloud, subnets networking. Then we have a perimeter layer, which is your firewalls, load balancers. And lastly, we have compute security, that is your host security. If I talk with respect to application, then we majorly focus on three things: identity, data, and monitoring. Identity means who has access to our resources and what all permissions they have. There we should follow a least privileges principle. Data, whether our data is encrypted, where are we storing that data, and make sure in case of a data leak or in case attacker is able to get access to our data, that data should be useless or unreadable to that attacker. Lastly, monitoring. We have to check that what all log, what all events we have to capture, set up alerts, notifications. For example, if there is a high resource consumption or malicious IP accessing our VM or database, like this, you for these incidents, you can set up an alerts. So this is a roadmap, and I have covered 90 days plan. Like, it is a 90 days plan. In first 30 days, you can set up a sandbox environment and deploy a very simple application on virtual machine. See what are the difference between EC2 full access role, read-only role, administrator permissions. What are the different kind of role offered by the cloud provider, and set up an application. See how the application can be integrated with other services like S3, database, notification services. In next month, add detailing into it. Like, give only minimal permission and see what and what cannot be done. Add network security, allow only specific ports, add a security group to your VM, and see where we can provide minimal or just allow only required port. Add organization policies, Azure policies, SCPs, depends on which cloud you're working on. And then in the last month, just put more flavors to it, do a little adventurous, and deploy your application on containers this time or on Kubernetes and see how IEM works differently, how to connect my pod to a S3 bucket, how cluster policies are defined. Just try to understand that Kubernetes environment. And then lastly, review your work, connect with your peers or the people, professionals working in a same domain, connect with them and see that, okay, this is what I have done and what additional can it be done and how it can be improved. Mindset and practice. So in security, we have offensive and defensive. If you're working as an offensive professional, and even if you're working as a defensive though, if you have to see what are the weakness, loopholes, misconfigurations present in my environment, you have to think like an attacker so that you can understand an attacker's mindset, his view, and see what will be the threat surfaces or entry point for an attacker, and then remediate those. Understanding of automation and IAC is good because IAC infrastructure as a code, Terraform is a good example for that. Whenever we deploy any resources or our application on cloud, we use a Terraform for automation. Also, understanding of Python and Bash can also ease your life. You will be able to write a small automation to customize some tasks. Lastly, incident response and disaster recovery. Very, very important. Create playbooks, automations to detect, to identify those threats, and your resources should be recover automatically using those playbooks and small automations. You can also write automation in serverless to check, like to remediate that particular threat if anything happens. Let's say if there is a malicious IP request on my EC2 instance, I'll block that IP, or like these kind of small automations you can write. And also do some work around the disaster recovery for your applications and databases. So certification and motivation. Certification, this was another question which was mostly asked, that whether we should go for a certification or not. Short answer is no, but they do help sometime. And so how certifications are helpful. So if you have a certification, then what I will think that, okay, the person has, or the professional has a understanding of terminologies, fundamental knowledge about the cloud. And if you want to start with, you can start with any cloud security certification, whether it is an AWS, Azure, or GCP. And also, certification will help you to bypass the, or to pass the basic HR screening. A little motivation. Keep on trying, whether you are failing or succeeding. Just try learning it. By the way, we are coming with more cloud hands on labs, container security labs. So do subscribe my channel, PeachyCloudSecurity, and connect with us for more videos, for more hands on labs, for more learning. Thank you so much.